揺れている面影に僕らの願い永遠に果てしないいつしか生きるために置き去りにした幸せ偽ることで使って踊ってたただの幻に瞳閉じた視界の果てで君の笑顔を探してた揺れている面影に僕らは夢抱きかけ抜けてくそういつの日か胸にしまってたこの想いも一度握りしめて今今宵も胸を熱して戦い終えた戦士たちいくつの時を超えれば答えを僕らは見つけるの遠い空の向こうに続く見果てぬ夢が泣いてる揺れている面影に僕らの願い永遠に果てしないそうこぼれてくいくつもの涙拭っては明日を目指してゆく言えなかったこと今日は君に捧げたい揺れている面影に導かれるまま駆け抜けてゆこう胸にしまってたこの想いも一度握りしめて今めくるめく時代の中これからもきっと歩いてゆくだろう
Wow, wow. Ow, wow, wow. Sorry. I'm enjoying this. I haven't listened to this music in forever. It is the theme song. Hey, Blight finally got it right. I was kind of starting to think, I was like, man, you guys are not fans. How do you all not get that? I mean, Okay, well, I mean, obviously it's, you know, not everybody has seen the original Japanese series. So, but yes, that song you heard was one of the opening themes from the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, Duel Monsters. It's called Warrior. I have a few of the opening themes, and I actually was kind of going through all my music, and I was like, oh, look, I still have these. But, yeah, some of the old CDs, because you used to be able to get these CDs really cheap. And I think I got one for like $4. So I was like, hey, cool, let's just go and listen to this music. And some of the stuff is kind of neat. Let me see. Let me cut through some of these. Oh, there you go. If you've watched the original Japanese series, you probably know this. Hey, well, he didn't randomly draw Exodia. It took him several turns, obviously, to do it. No, season 1, not season 0, Money. Season 0 was all kinds of weird, man. But yeah, all the music I have here is from original Duel Monsters. Oops, didn't mean to pause it. It wasn't the last card. It just happened to be the last card he drew, because that's all he needed. That was it. The game was over after that. Uh-oh. There's one here called Friendship. Some of this music is kind of crazy. Aww. There's one called Peace and Hope. I think I remember hearing that one. Hold on, I think I've got another disc. Oh, this one just has all the opening themes. You go, Friendship. You go, Friendship. You go. Okay, enough of that. Anyways, it's Monday. And it is the 17th of December. Wow. Yes, Maroon, we know that. We know. Thank you for ruining my news. But, anyways, that was part of the news I was going to cover today. And let me go to my little envelope here. If you've not noticed, people, because Maroon just gave it away to everybody, on the 19th, we finally get him. We get the Dino Dude. I always forget his name, but yeah, Hasselberry. He is confirmed for the 19th. His event runs from the 19th till the 26th, so it's only a week. Only a week. Sometimes they do the events for like 10 days. But yeah, we're getting him for a whole week, and it's through Christmas. So, yeah. I imagine most of you will probably be a little busy on Christmas. You know, hanging out with family and eating food and opening gifts and all that good stuff. So, yeah, try and get as many cards as you can before that day, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure some of you will be like, okay, I've had enough Christmas, and you'll like go to your bedroom or something, and that'll be it. Yes, he has Ultimate Tyranno. Another bit of news for Duel Links is the challenge stamps have reset. So if you're looking to get some easy gems, the challenge stamps have reset, so you can go get those. And a couple of other things that I wanted to cover, if I can find them here. Kind of going in with the title. No, I don't want that. Nope, don't want that. Where is this thing? I really should mark these better. Nope, not that one. Hold on. Maybe this is it. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So, first things first, Fallout 76. I know some of you don't care about Fallout 76, and that's fine. But, yeah, story from PC Gamer. Fallout 76's lunchboxes sure sound like the loot boxes it was never going to have. Now, for those of you who don't follow the Fallout stuff, one of the big selling points that Bethesda had when it came to Fallout 76 and its online mode and them having a cash store, They were like, no, we're not going to have loot boxes. We're not doing that. There will be other stuff that you can buy from the cash store, but no loot boxes. Excuse me. That was one of their big selling points. And so people were like, yeah, we cheered that, because nobody wants loot boxes. I mean, as often as you see them in games, we've made it very clear as far as, us gamers, that we don't like them. We don't want loot boxes. We just completely dislike them. We understand that they're there to make a little more money, but ultimately they hurt the game. And this is what makes it even worse here. Let me go through this. Lunchboxes, and I'm reading from, again, this is from PC Gamer by a gentleman named Fraser Brown. Lunchboxes are innocuous things. What could possibly be menacing about a box designed to keep sandwiches nice and safe? Games always find a way. In Fallout Shelter, players can unlock or purchase lunchboxes containing a random assortment of sometimes game-changing bonuses and items. They're loot boxes with a cute name, essentially. Now it looks like they're coming to Fallout 76 in the same form. A changelog from the latest patch was put together by Despotac, hope I'm saying that right, and then posted on Reddit. Excuse me. Throughout it, lunchboxes crop up. They aren't available in the game yet, so we haven't seen them in action and therefore cannot be certain how they'll work in game. But the changelog does reveal their effects. These include no hunger and thirst effects, party favors, and gift bags, and lots of bonuses including damage resistance and XP. The prefix ATX, which is what you'll see in some of the information here, as Reddit user Jasmine points out, is an Atom Shop tag, suggested that these lunchboxes will be sold in Fallout 76's premium store. When you open a lunchbox, it looks like they'll explode in a shower of confetti and balloons, and maybe there's a kazoo sound. This will apparently be visible to other players. Just to sum this up, if this is correct, and I'm actually a little, I don't know, I'm not really certain, because I can tell you something right now. I lived in Austin, and the people that developed this particular game, it's Bethesda, but it's Bethesda Austin. It's a different development team. Like Bethesda Maryland, they're the ones who I believe did Fallout 4. So same company, different development team. This is the one that's located in Austin, Texas. And being somebody who lived in Texas, or Austin for that matter, for a good 10 years, I can tell you, even coders, because I knew a lot of people in tech in Austin. Tech's real big in Austin, in case you all don't know. ATX is a very common way to shorten Austin, Texas. Again, could just be a coincidence, but this person is stating that the ATX prefix means that it will go into the Atom Shop store, which is possible, but it's not nearly the first time I've seen this tag used in coding. So, who knows? But the fact of the matter is, based on this information, one, the loot boxes that 76 was never supposed to get, they're getting them. Which sucks to begin with. And then some of the rewards, such as no hunger and no thirst effects, which are big in the game. It's a survival game. So your character does occasionally get hungry and thirsty, and you have to take time to get water, to make food, whatever, and eat so that you can get rid of those effects. And you have to stop your progression, basically, to do that. So being able to just keep going without the hunger and thirst effects, that's a big, that's big for some people. And then the other stuff is like party favors, gift bags, lots of bonuses. And the bonuses can be, like I said here, including damage resistance and XP. Again, that sounds a little bit like pay to win. It really does, because anytime that you can get a boost to XP, it's an advantage over all the other players who are not getting that bonus. Same thing with damage resistance. I don't know how this damage resistance buff will work. I don't know if it's just versus the regular enemies in the game. I don't know if it works for PvP. I mean, PvP is such a joke in this game anyway, but I don't know if it'll work for PvP or just for, against monsters. But if it does work in PvP, obviously that's another huge advantage. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little upsetting that at this point in time that the companies out here pushing loot boxes on us, like Blizzard, and EA, especially EA, because they're notorious for loot boxes, and now Bethesda. Just, I guess the temptation, if possible, windfalls is just too much for them to ignore. I mean, because you all know, I mean, those of you who've been watching my streams for the past several months know that at first I was on this. I was like, I'm going to buy Fallout 76. And then a couple weeks before the game was to come out, I changed my mind because I was worried. And it was for a good thing, because I would have paid $60 for a game that was almost immediately discounted down to 40 and even $35 on Amazon. So I would have lost a lot of money there. And then on top of that, you know, it had massive bugs, ridiculous bugs, game-breaking bugs. And now the one thing that I was happy with, you know, as far as all their pre-launch news, it's getting implemented. I just don't. You can buy it for like $20 now. You can actually get it used for like $20 in some places. But I mean, it just seems as if these game companies are just not going to learn. They just don't. I think they just don't want to learn. I think some of them are more than willing to piss off half of their fan base, knowing that the other half probably doesn't care. And that's part of that other half that doesn't care may actually buy into this loot box crap. I think that's what they're doing. They're basically just kind of saying, well, screw half of you, but the other half that stays, sure, have fun. So it just bothers me. It bothers me so much that they do this stuff. I mean, I had already made up my mind that like I said, I was on the wagon as far as the game. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Then I was skeptical, and then I went to no, I'm not buying it. Now I'm over to thank God I didn't buy it, because this is just stupid now. It's just such a mess over there, man. Such a freaking mess. Well, that's my little spiel on Fallout 76. There was one other thing that I did want to go over here. Let me go away. There we are. There is one other thing I wanted to go over. Let me see if I can locate the story I was looking at. Let me see. All they want are free-to-play players. Pretty much. That's what they're looking for. They're just looking for people that they can milk. Not in a literal sense, because, I mean, I know you can milk anything with nipples, but anyway, sorry. Here's another story. Something you may not have even cared about, but I noticed it because I do play Blizzard games. I play World of Warcraft. You guys know that. I do occasionally play Hearthstone. I do have Overwatch. I haven't opened it in a while, though. Heroes of the Storm. Pros vent sadness, anger after Blizzard kills game's esports future. Now, again, you guys are probably not hardcore into esports. But a lot of people... excuse me, I cannot clear my throat today. But a lot of people have become pros. Not only in Asia, where it's huge, but here in the States as well. There's a lot of pro players now. They play the game, 8 to 10 hours a day just to get better so that they can go to these esports events and hopefully do really well. And apparently, Heroes of the Storm, what is going on with them is Blizzard says that they are moving developers from Heroes of the Storm over to other projects. Not only that, but they've also canceled all of their Heroes of the Storm's events for 2019. I'll go over this story here real quick. On Thursday evening, Blizzard Entertainment announced it was scaling back work on Heroes of the Storm. It's cross-franchise MOBA and moving developers from that game to other projects. While Blizzard said it will continue to work on the game and release new content, it was a clear sign that Heroes of the Storm will not be a priority for the company in 2019 and beyond. For many fans of the game, however, it was the cancellation of the Heroes Global Championship for 2019 that hit the hardest, dropping the HGC and the Heroes of the Dorm Collegiate Circuit was a sign of no confidence in Hero of the Storm as a viable esport. So anybody that had invested any sort of time and possibly money into, getting really good at Heroes of the Storm. I never played it myself, but there are a lot of people who do play it. But this is them basically, throwing in the towel and saying, sorry, if you were hoping to be a pro at this game, it's probably not going to happen anymore. Oh, and just for credit and stuff, this is a story by Michael McWhorter from Polygon. But yeah, this is a Blizzard basically saying, nope, sorry, we're not going to really invest in this anymore. Which is kind of crap because the game is, it's an okay game. It's not really to my liking. From what I understand, it's kind of a League of Legends type game. I've never played League of Legends either, so I don't really know how that, but just in case you guys are familiar with League of Legends, it's supposed to be kind of in the same ballpark, I guess, as far as how they operate. It's just, this is just Blizzard's version of it. So, yeah, if you were on an esports team or, you were just going in the solo, whatever, this is them basically saying, sorry, no more for you. It's unfortunate, too, because I don't think the game was amazing by any standards, but obviously there were enough players to get people interested in doing this for a living. And that's unfortunate, man. I really feel bad for some of these people, because some of these people, like, for people like me and you, who kind of just do, like me, I do the Duel Links thing, just for fun. I'm not a pro in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, because I suck at the game. But, yeah, I feel bad for these people, because, again, these are people who put in a lot of time and money into developing their skills for this game, and now it's pretty much going away. It's gone. I don't know what to think about that, man. And I know why this is happening too. I know why. No one will admit it, but I know why it's happening. And I got one word for you. Activision. Yes, that is one word. But yeah, ever since Activision came in and took over Blizzard, it has just been bad over there, man. Like, World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth. Unless you were a dedicated fan like myself, I've been a dedicated fan of World of Warcraft since like 2005, 2006. So I've been playing it a long time. It's the only reason really why I still play it. I still enjoy it kind of, but I can tell you right now, Battle for Azeroth is not good. And that mostly has to do, some people feel, with the fact that Activision is saying, nope, we got to tighten our belts. Got to suck some of that money out of there. Oh, you've got 200 people on your staff? Nope, you got to cut that down to 150. Same thing here. Heroes of the Storm not making enough money? We got to pull people from it. We're taking people off of that game. They're doing that with a lot of games now. Activision has been very vocal as far as saying that Blizzard, even though Blizzard, up until this point, basically since World of Warcraft came out, because they had other games before World of Warcraft. They had, Warcraft 3, they had the Diablo series. They had some stuff going in even before World of Warcraft came out. World of Warcraft just basically turned them into a household name after that. And since World of Warcraft has come out, they've been profitable. They have been. They've made money. And I think that was part of the reason why so many people kept playing their games, is because Blizzard wasn't afraid to throw a little extra money at a project to make it that much better. And not only that, but come to find out that over the last couple of years, again, since Activision came in, they have been steadily, what's the word I'm looking for? They have basically been, in a way, kind of starving their employees. And this is what I mean. And again, this is, I believe it was Jeremy from The Quartering. He's got a YouTube channel of his own and everything. He was talking about it. And a few people from Blizzard actually emailed him. He didn't mention names because he doesn't want to get anybody in trouble. But they were saying that it's not unusual for the people that work for Blizzard in California to share a house, basically. Instead of, because it's not unusual to have a roommate. Like when I was, 21, 22, I had a roommate. Just makes things easier, makes, rent a little easier to achieve, that sort of stuff. But from what I'm understanding here is that people that work for, these are all Blizzard employees. All these people that work for Blizzard, they live in a house, and there's not just two of them, there's 3, 4, and 5 of them in some cases. And they do it not necessarily because they want roommates. They do it simply because they can't afford anything else. I mean, yeah, it's California. It's really expensive in California. In fact, I can tell you right now, if you ever come to America, like those of you who are not American, if you ever come to America, I know cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco are tempting, but don't go there. Don't. Don't get me wrong, they're nice. Like, especially San Francisco is a beautiful city. But unless you want to pay $150 for lunch, don't go there. And I'm not kidding. I'm seriously not kidding on that $150 level, because you have to take into account a lot of things. You got to take a cab to wherever you want to go, because you're sure as hell not going to drive in San Francisco. You're just not. Because if you do, you got to rent a car, and then you got to pay for parking. Parking's like $25, even if you're there for only an hour. And then the food there, it's good food. It's super expensive, but that's a whole other subject. Anyways, bottom line is California is expensive. So what Activision, Blizzard, whatever you want to call them, what they're betting on is that people look at Blizzard as a dream job. And it really is, because think of it. If you love a game, think of any game that just gets to you, that you just love it. You just absolutely love everything about it. You love the game, you love the products that they bring out. Like, say, for instance, somebody who's really into Overwatch. They play Overwatch every day, and they get the little Funko Pop figures, and they get t-shirts and the backpacks, They just love the game. And suddenly, you have a chance to go and work for the company that makes that game. You're like, wow, dream job, right? And it really is. But the sad thing is that companies now like Activision Blizzard are taking that enthusiasm that a person would have for an intellectual property and using it to get them in the door, and then paying them nothing for their work. In other words, they know that if you love a game so much, they know they can pay you next to nothing, but you'll still take the job because it is the dream job. And that's sad. They use that enthusiasm and love for a product against you because they know you will take less money. It's like Moni. It's if Moni walks, if Moni gets contacted by a cheese factory and they say, hey, we heard you love cheese. You want to come work for us and make cheese? And Moni's like, yes! Yes! And they're like, okay, great. You can come work for us and we'll put you to work, but we're going to pay you minimum wage. Well, then Moni has to think, well, it's minimum wage, but it's making cheese. It's my passion. You might still take the job, even though you're severely undercutting yourself as far as pay goes. I gotta tell you, man, like over in Austin, Blizzard actually has their customer service department over in Austin. And occasionally they would put up little advertisements like on monster.com and all those employment websites saying that they were looking for people to come and do customer service. And a lot of people were always wanting to try and get in the door because, again, it's Blizzard. But what I found out was, yeah, a lot of people did eventually get hired, but same thing. They pay you next to nothing for doing customer service. And I got to tell you right now, customer service work, if you've never done it, don't. Just don't. Unless they pay you a boatload of money, don't do it. It's kind of like customer service I liken to working retail during the holidays, except the holiday never ends. That's what that is. Like I worked, and I think I told you all this, I worked for AT&T years ago. This was a long time ago. Back when they were known as AT&T Wireless. That's how old it was. But I worked there, and it was, I mean, at the time, it was great because, I got a free cell phone. And at the time, cell phones were still really expensive. This was, back before the smartphones and all that stuff came out. So to get a free phone, and then they pay for your service, and you have unlimited minutes and unlimited everything, and, it was awesome, right? But over time, you learn there's a reason why people don't last in that job, because it really is like that. It really is like working retail during the holiday season, and the holiday season never ends. It's thankless work. It's hard. You don't get paid very much. And again, the company coasts on the fact that you want to stick around simply because of certain other benefits that you may get. Which, I mean, I guess is kind of how any job is. But, I mean, I just think it's sad that sometimes these companies bet on the fact that you love something so much that you are willing. It's kind of like, and this may be getting a little too deep for you guys, but it's almost like an abusive relationship. Again, like I said, it may be a little deep for you. Think of it like this. You're with somebody and you care for them and you want to be with them, but they treat you like crap. They constantly treat you like crap. But you keep telling yourself that you love them and you want to be with them. Over time, you finally realize, this is just not going to get any better. And you have to make a choice. You can either stay and keep dealing with being underappreciated and being treated like trash, or you can move on. That's why a lot of people don't last in the gaming industry, as far as, be it a customer service position or being an actual developer. They get underpaid and underappreciated, and it sucks. So, yeah. So, I don't know, man. What happened? Wow. Benny is all getting late. I'm late. I'm a half hour late. What happened? Benny is always that guy that shows up a little bit late and he's like, huh? What? What happened? Nothing, Benny. Everything's perfect. Everything's beautiful. Everything is absolutely perfect. Look there, Benia, look. But anyways, yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, those are the two bigger stories. Again, Fallout 76 looking more and more like crap. Going pay to win. And Heroes of the Storm by a once beloved gaming company, Blizzard. Damn it, Blizzard. Seriously. If anybody knows anybody that works... Well, not that that's going to matter. But even if you... I was going to say, if you know anybody that works at Blizzard, be like, hey, what the hell's going on over there? But most of the time, the people that you meet that do actually work for Blizzard... Like, I actually know somebody that does... At least, I don't know. I haven't spoken to them in a while, to be honest. But they worked for Blizzard. They worked at the customer service center over in Austin. And I remember him telling me, even back then, he's like, it pays okay, but it's hard work. It's really hard work. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. I can only imagine it's even harder now. Because another thing, and I didn't even mention this before, but before, what Blizzard would do is they would pay you kind of a crap wage, but then like every quarter or every year, you'd get a bonus. Like you'd get a quarterly bonus and then you'd get a yearly bonus. So it kind of made up for the fact that your normal pay is kind of junk. But then when you get your bonus, you're like, oh, sweet. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you get a crap wage, but then every quarter you get like a bonus of like $800 or $900, which is pretty good. It's nice to get a nice chunk of change just like that. Same thing with the annual bonus. Like when I worked for AT&T, we used to get annual bonuses anywhere between $1,500 and $4,000. And these are not executive bonuses. These are just regular frontline employee bonuses. So again, the wage is kind of but the bonuses at the end of the year or quarterly are really nice. And so that, again, is a reason why a lot of people stuck with Blizzard. I know it was the reason why I stuck with AT&T as long as I did, because those bonuses are nice. Well, Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, they did away with all those bonuses. No more bonuses. No quarterly bonus, no yearly bonus, no Christmas bonus, nothing. It's gone. Now, keep in mind, the executives, they still get their bonuses. But all your frontline employees, all the employees that get paid $7.50 an hour, which is barely above minimum wage, nope, no more bonuses. It's like, I know you guys tease me about my age, but I'm going to use my age to my advantage right now. I've been around the block enough times to know when it comes to a particular company or a television show, a business, a game develop, whatever, you begin to recognize when it's the beginning of the end. And what I mean by that, in case you're not familiar with that saying, is with any company that eventually goes down and just dies, there is a certain point within its history where you can see that downturn. And I'm not sure if this is what's happening with Blizzard right now, but it sure as hell looks like it. At some point in the near future, maybe the next 5 years, we're going to look at Blizzard, a company like Blizzard, and realize that they are just not the same company at all. They're just not. Blizzard may eventually become a company like NetEase. And in case you don't know what NetEase is a company from China that specifically does games for mobile. And their whole thing is doing games for mobile where they basically hide content behind timers and they stop your game progression unless you pay money. I feel like that's what Blizzard is becoming. Let me see. Boney asks, don't you pay taxes on bonuses as well? Yes. And the funny thing is, and this is not unusual, this has been happening for years. Like when I worked for AT&T, at first they would give us checks, like just regular old checks, and they would take the taxes and stuff out, which was fine. But then they started giving us gift cards. And not like gift cards to like Target or anything. They were like Visa gift cards. Like you could take them and you can spend them anywhere. But the thing is that when they give you something as a gift, like a gift card, the reason why they do that is because, at least here in the States, if a company gives you, say, a gift card for $1,000, they don't pay any tax on it. The company pays zero tax on that. They don't have to pay Social Security tax. They don't have to pay FICA. They don't have to pay employment taxes. They don't have to pay any of that. That's why they like doing that. But on the flip side, the person who receives that $1,000 gift card, their effective tax rate for that $1,000 is usually about 50%. So you're basically getting half of your money taken away by the government. Now, at the end of the day, that 50% effective tax rate, it may not apply to many people, to be fair, because it still goes in as income. You still have to report it as income. But again, the tax code here in the States is kind of ridiculous. Even with that $1,000, at the end of the year, you have to go and check your effective tax rate for your tax bracket, which may not be very high. So if it's not very high, then effectively your tax on that $1,000 may not be anywhere near 50%. In fact, a lot of people, it turns out to be like maybe 20%. But still a lot of money. If somebody gave you $1,000 and the government immediately came and said, okay, I'm taking 200, and there's nothing you can do about it. Kind of a pain in the butt. But that's the reason why companies here in the States give gift cards, because they don't have to pay taxes on them at all. Excuse me. But yeah, it can get a little weird there with the gift card stuff. Oh, man. I just feel like 2018 has been a watershed year, but in the worst possible way. It's been a year where we can see just how terrible gaming companies can be. Just how shady they can be and how crap they can be. And just we've seen how they can just push the envelope this year to how terrible they can treat their employees and how terrible they can treat the people that make them exist or allow them to exist, their customers. EA did it, but it was no surprise when EA did it. It's EA. We've come to expect that from EA. We did not expect it from a company like DICE. We didn't expect it from a company like Bethesda. We didn't expect it from a company like Blizzard. And it just feels like this year has seen a downward trend that is looking really bad. Because there are still some gaming sweethearts in the space. I mean, like, what is it, CD Projekt Red, the people who brought you Witcher 3? They still pay their employees pretty well, and they still give you a really good game, and they don't have loot boxes. But the more you look around, the more you realize that there are not a lot of companies like that anymore. There aren't. I mean, sure, if you really thought about it, you could name a few other companies out there. But yeah, I just I don't know, man. Can you all think of another company out there that does a really great job and doesn't push the loot box thing and treats their employees well and compensates them well? I can't think of too many. And I'm not talking like a tiny little startup. I'm talking about a large company like a Blizzard or an EA or a Bethesda. Can't think of many because there aren't many. They just don't do it anymore. They're all turning to crap. And they don't seem to care. And I blame Benia. Yeah, that you say that as a joke, Maroon, but it's actually true. The creators of God of War, who did that? Who did God of War? I'm trying to remember. God of War developer. Daybreak Games. It looks like developer. Ready at Dawn, Yevon Ground, Daybreak Game Company. Okay, so it looks like there's a few of them. Publishers: Capcom, Sony, Sony Interactive. That's the publisher, but the developers are different. Ready at Dawn, Yevon Ground, Daybreak. I'm familiar with Daybreak. I've heard the name before, but the others I'm not. Yeah. Blame Trax. We always blame Trax because Trax is the one we blame for everything. Oh man. And all this before Christmas. Who's ready for Christmas? Let's move on to something a little more positive. I am not ready for Christmas at all. Because I can tell you right now, Christmas is going to land on a Tuesday. And I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. You all know I'm not doing a show tomorrow because I have family coming in. And I'm going to spend most of the day with them. But Tuesday, Christmas Day, I don't even think I should do a show. Because, well, one, because it's Christmas. But I imagine most of you, at least half of you, are probably going to be hanging out with your family and doing Christmas type stuff. Opening gifts, eating food, petting cats, that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. I guess maybe I'll do a show for, like, I'll call the show something like for people without family or people who aren't seeing family. I don't know. We'll see. Benia says, I always stay home alone at Christmas. I tend to do that too now. Simply because when I was married, oh man, I'm not going to talk bad about my wife's family. They're very nice people. They really are. My ex-wife's family. They're very nice people, but she was very pushy. And anytime it was a holiday like a Thanksgiving or a Christmas, we absolutely had to go to her family's place. We could never go to my family's place. No, we had to go to her family's place. So, yeah, pretty much every holiday between 2000 and 2010, I wasn't really that happy. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know, man. What are y'all doing for the holiday? Maroon, what are you doing? Are y'all? I imagine there's Christians in your area, or even non-Christians. I mean, heck, I'm not Christian. I celebrate Christmas. And Benia, I imagine there's nothing but Christians over there. What do y'all do on Christmas? Anything special y'all do locally? Like here, the one thing I know that's going to happen is like on Christmas Eve, here in my area, we all have like Christmas or like midnight mass, for the holiday people. Yeah, eat. Well, that's normal. But the one thing I'm kind of looking forward to that nobody really talks about, but it just happens every year, is, I think I've mentioned this before, is the tamale lady. And you can basically order tamales from her, and then she'll deliver them to you on Christmas Eve. Or you can go pick them up, either way. I don't have a car, so she'll probably deliver them to me. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I kind of want to order a couple dozen tamales. Watch football. Oh, well, football on Christmas on Tuesday. Well, there might be a college game. There's probably a college bowl game on Christmas Day. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But yeah, Christmas Day, we usually, unless it's specifically on Sunday, then we don't generally have NFL football on Christmas. Let's see. Moni says, me and my family always go eat at my grandpa's on Christmas, or your grandparents. That's pretty normal. Unfortunately, my grandparents are no longer with us, so that's not even an option. But yeah, that's cool. Maroon is like, yeah, Christmas mostly stay with family. Yeah, I mean, because my mother lives in San Antonio, and that's where a majority of my stepfather's family is, and my sister lives there now, and of course my sister's kids, they all go over there now. So on Christmas Day, that's where everybody's going to be. But I'm not going to be there. Because I don't have a car, and two, even if they offered me a ride, I don't want to be stuck there. I just don't. So that's why, and my mother knows this, which is why she's coming to see me tomorrow. Because she wants to spend a day with me, for the holiday and all that. So she's like, well, if I can't see you on Christmas, I'm going to see you on the 18th. So I'm like, all right. Initially, she was going to come on the 16th, but then that changed. And so I went and I spent time with other family. But she's going to be here tomorrow. Benia, I eat alone, I cry because I always break up my relationship. Why? To get out of buying a gift? What do you... Come on, you cheap bastard. Buy her a gift. He's like, no! I'm not giving her a gift. My ex-wife never liked the gifts I got her. Never. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. Again, I don't want to speak badly of her, but generally the more expensive the gift, the more she liked it. Which is unfortunate. Let's see, Maroon's like, I'm not going to spend time with my girlfriend. I don't have one. And Maroon's like, shut up, man, just because it's true. But Dre, I don't know what Dre's doing. Dre's over in Detroit. I just imagine Dre's going to try not to freeze on Christmas. I don't know what he's going to do. Because like I said, if there's not a college football game on that day, I don't know. Oh, speaking of college football, let's play Duel Links. You like that segue? How have y'all been doing? Look, I'm only on the 17th floor. I'm not really pushing it. Here's another thing that I was talking about the other day. Remember I was talking about how every single time I have finished off a box, the very last pack has always been an ultra or super rare without fail? And I forget who it was, but somebody was in here the other day saying, no, it doesn't work like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you it does. I'm telling you it does. Well, I'm not down to the last pack quite yet in either of the boxes that I showed you, but I'm pretty damn close. 5 packs left. 1 super rare left. I have a feeling that it's going to be the last pack. What do you guys think? I think it is. I'm actually surprised it wasn't this. I got this the other day and I was like, wow, I actually got that first. But the sorry thing is that I really do want this card. But yeah, 5 packs left. I'm telling you, the next 4 packs are going to be a waste. I'm basically going to waste 200 gems. Let's see. There was one other box I was looking at. Here we go. 4 packs left. And Grandmar's the only one. What do you guys think? I think the next 3 packs are going to be pointless. Second to last. It won't. I'm telling you. Grandmarg is going to be the last. It's going to be in the last pack. Grandmarg is going to be in the last pack. And the Insector is going to be in the last pack of the other. It's this just how it is. I'm telling you. That's all the proof that I need. I've seen it so many times, dude. I'm telling you. And if they purposely go and make it to where the absolute last pack is always going to be a super or ultra rare, that skews the RNG. And that's bull sniff. I'm telling you. I can't think of any other packs where I've actually gotten really close to the end. Yeah, that one still has a while to go. Excuse me. Yeah, that's still got a lot to go. I think this one still has a lot to go too. 46 packs. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm telling you, man. Just as I think what I'm going to do from here on out, just to show, because I mean, if you have a theory of something, it generally helps to back up that theory or your hypothesis, however you want to call it. It helps you to back up your hypothesis with proof. So that's what I'm going to do every single time that I get to the last pack in any box from here going forward, including this one and this one. I'm going to screenshot it. And I'm going to start putting them together. I'm going to show you, hey, look, This is why I say every single pack, that's the last pack, is going to have an ultra or super rare, and that skews the RNG, because it does. It basically means that no matter how many gems you spend, or basically, if it's a 200 pack box and you buy the first 200 pack, you are never ever going to have a chance to get every single super and ultra rare. It's just not going to happen. And that's crap. Is the Ultimate Rising? Yeah, that one still probably has a ton of packs. Yeah, it's still got a little ways to go there. Yeah, a lot of these older pack boxes don't. I haven't really messed with these a lot, so they still go, oh, that's 120. Well, let me go to these. These are the smaller boxes. 65, 70. Yeah, these are still pretty high up, and I don't even have any reason to buy these. Oh, like this one? Oh yes. Let me go buy these packs. These are amazing cards. I can't think of any of these cards that I see regularly. I just can't. I've seen Mega Rock Dragon once. But these other cards, I've not seen anybody use these cards. Given it is an older box, but still. Even though it's an older box, I mean, heck, I can go into this box, and I can see cards that I still see all the time. Look, perfect example. Sphere Karibo. Still see people play that. I still see people play this. I still see people play this. Same thing with Magic Arm. I still see people play this one. I mean, and this one, I even play this one still. So it being an old box is no excuse. It's not. 55 packs. I really do think those are the only two boxes that I'm really close to the end on. 174. Anyways. Who plays Ultimate Blue Eyes? They played it a lot. I saw it more often before they nerfed Life Cost Zero. But post-nerf, I've not really seen it that much. But I have seen people use it and throw it to the graveyard with that Cyberdark. I think it was a Cyberdark deck. Where they somehow use it to get it from the extra deck to the graveyard. I've seen them do it that way. Because you can do that with Blue Eyes Ultimate and with Five-Hitter Dragon. Because they're both dragons. But I have seen them play it. So, what do you guys think? What do you all want to do today? You want to do a duel room? Or do you want to do some ranked duels? I mean, it's Monday, and like I said, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so it's your call, guys. I've already spent a good hour of the show just complaining and bitching about stuff, so what do you guys feel like doing today? Man, I gotta go get some water. I just cannot clear my throat today, ever. Duel room fun decks. We can do that. Sleep. I actually slept a lot yesterday. After the Cowboys game, after they got slaughtered. Well, they didn't get slaughtered, but they got that was such a bad game. Oh, Cowboys, you did so terrible. They could have, seriously, with a win yesterday, they would have won the division. They would be in the playoffs. They'd be a 4th seed, but they'd still be in the playoffs. But no, they couldn't score even a field goal yesterday against the Colts. And I'm not knocking the Colts. They have turned it around. The Colts at one point, Dre, were 1-5. You figure at 1-5, season's over. Season's over at 1-5. But nope. Guess what their record is now? 8-6. That's a massive turnaround. That is a huge turn. Same thing with the Texans. Texans started 0-3. And now they're what, 10-4? Possibly going to get a first round bye? That's amazing. What team are you going for in the Super Bowl? I don't know, man. There's a lot of good teams. I don't want the Patriots to win. I'm not anti-Patriot. But we've seen them win enough times already. Let's get something new in there. You know who I want to see win? So that he can retire and just kind of, stroll off into the sunset? Or ride off into the sunset? Drew Brees and the Saints. I want to see them win. They have a very good chance, too. But it's hard to say, man. I like the Chiefs simply because I was a fan of Patrick Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech. The Texans, Deshaun Watson, and those guys, they've really put it together. I don't know, man. I really don't know who's it gonna be. It's not gonna be the Cowboys. Even if the Cowboys make it to the postseason, I don't see them even winning the opening round. Yeah, Drew's amazing. And he's got so much help now. Thank God. There were a few seasons there where they had losing seasons. And it was basically just Drew Brees was the entire offense. That was it. He was the entire offense. But now he's got a lot of help. And he has a solid defense too. So yeah, if there's going to be a year where they, make that Super Bowl run again, it's going to be this one. It's definitely going to be this one. Last year would have been it too, but that freaking insane play. I was watching that game live too when it happened, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Did you see that play, Dre, when they were facing the Vikings? Last play. I think it was, who was it, Kirk Cousins? Just flung it up there, and Stephon Diggs grabbed it, went in for the touchdown on the final play of the game. And it wasn't just like a 20-yard touchdown. This was, what, like a 65-yard touchdown? That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I think it was a follow. Was it a follow? I don't remember. Was it a follow? Oh, yeah. Room ID. Copy room ID. Hold on. Let me give this to you guys. Yeah, that game last year was insane. Well, there's the room number. And we have decided we're doing fun decks today. Even though I know it's Monday and we usually do the Meta Monday thing. Let's do some fun decks. In fact, maybe I'll make a new deck just for today. And I don't care if you guys see it. Let me, this deck should be empty. What deck should I make? I mean, I've got a lot of new cards from the new box. Normal rarity deck. Oh gosh, we tried doing that once, Maroon, and it was terrible. It was so bad. I really don't know who to make, though. I really don't. And I don't really want to do an archetype. Well, I guess I could make a Morphtronic deck. I've not actually run one of those. Oh, but I don't have the Power Tool Dragon. Darn. Well, I mean, the room number's there. You guys are more than welcome to get started there, but I'm thinking if I want to build a new deck, or I could take an existing deck and just make it better. Hide it so we don't see your deck. So you want me to build a deck here without showing you guys? Only prismatics? How do I even filter that? I don't think I can. Can I? I think I can. Hold on. Card effect. Oh, here we go. Prismatics only. I don't have many prismatics. See, that's it. Those are all my prismatics. Actually, wait. This isn't right. Because I know I've got... Yeah, I know I have some traps that are prismatics. Why aren't they showing up? Oh, I know why. Because I didn't do this. Here we go. Prismatic. Well, now it's only doing these. Blast with Chain. That's actually not a bad card. It's really not. And then, of course, enemy controllers. I just don't have enough variety to really make an effective deck that way. Speaking of prismatics, word is we're supposed to get on Christmas or around that time a dream ticket. Which card do you think you guys are going to get with your dream ticket? Because apparently, from what I understand, and I could be wrong here, is it's going to give us a choice of any card within all the boxes. So it's pretty much any card we want. Which card are y'all going to go for? I might actually go ahead and just do the Anki, because like I said, I don't want to drop thousands more gems just to get one more. No more ultras, no! That's terrible. Okay, so it's going to be super rare then. Well, I mean, there are still some good super rares out there. While you guys get your decks together, let's see. I'm trying to think of a good super rare that I would want. Well, no, Anki's ultra rare. If it's only super rare dream ticket, then Anki's out of the question. I was thinking I might actually get. I I'm tempted to get another Delta Flyer, simply so I don't have to go through this box all over again. But yeah, maybe another Delta Flyer. Because again, you guys have seen it. I like this card so much. It's so freaking useful. I like that card. It's a tuner, and you can increase the level of a monster that's on the field. Another monster besides itself. I really like the Delta Flyer. It gives a little bit of a little bit of leeway there, so you can go with a, like, say for instance in the deck that I use it in, I run a lot of 4-star monsters. So with his effect, I can bring out Stardust, but if I choose not to use it, now I can bring out something like Ancient Fairy. I don't know what rare, or not rare, super rare, what I want. Can't think of one. Really can't. I guess I'll figure it out when the day comes. But yeah, if they included ultra rares, I definitely would have got Anki. I definitely would have got it, just so I wouldn't have to go through and deal with all of that again. Dre, who won the tournament? I left because I was salty after that 30-card stall. Oh, somebody, Dre, just in case you can't see it, somebody over on Twitch is asking. Their name is W. Paco Well Played? They're asking about the tournament yesterday, I imagine. It says, Dre, who won the tournament? I left because I was salty after that 30-card stall no-skill deck. That's funny. I saw the tail end of the tournament. It looked interesting. I saw Magpie and Steve play. That was an interesting match. The 30-card player was... Bleskabar says he was the 30-card player. You jerk. Anyways, I actually have to step away for a minute, so you guys in the duel room play each other. And I'll be right back. Here, while I'm away, y'all can have some music.
情熱を手に輝くために生まれてきた僕らの旅は続く一人に一つずつもらえる自由と情熱を手に輝くために生まれてきた僕らの旅は続く確かな日常を支える切り札お前のソウルベストな成長は生み出すよ止まらないワイルドドライブ僕らはまだ静かに扉を叩いてる扉を叩いてる
Wild rap. Whew. Had to go grab some water. There we are. How do I grab water? You stick your hand in and you grab it. Okay, I got a message from somebody. Do any of you all know, because I honestly have no idea who this person is. Dev Pro Ginger? I imagine that's somebody who's already watching. I don't know who you are, but they're asking... I'm not going to say exactly what they said, but they're asking me to help them set up a double stream. If you're interested in double streaming, there is a service called Restream. It's located at restream.io, I believe. And if you go there, you can set it up to where it streams to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Now, do keep something in mind, though. If you use the service, it's fine. Just some streaming services like Twitch, they have a very specific... what's the word I'm looking for? Within their EULA, their end-user license agreement, basically, their terms of service, depending on where you are within their partner program, you may or may not be allowed to stream to certain platforms at the same time. Like me, I'm not part of their partner program, so I can stream to as many different streaming services as I want. But if you're a partner, basically, if you're able to accept things like the bits that they have, then you're part of their partner program. And if you stream to more than just Twitch at the same time, that might be a violation of their terms. So you need to be sure that you're within that, because obviously you don't want to lose that ability to accept bits, because that would suck for some people. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, the service is called Restream.io. In fact, let me see. It's just... oops, misspelled that. Yeah, that's it right there. Restream.io. And there's a little section there that actually shows you how to set it up, step by step. And the cool thing is, not only can you stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but there are other services you can stream to at the same time as well. Like there's another streaming service called Mixer that I stream to. I don't really get any viewers on it, but it's there. It gives you a whole list of different streaming options that you have. You can, in fact, stream to Facebook also, but to stream to Facebook, they actually require payment. Whereas with the other services, it's free. They don't charge anything. You know, you ever been so thirsty where water is the most delicious thing in the world?
Duel.
Good stuff. That's an interesting starting hand. Kind of want to burn this already. Why are you acting? Oh, you're doing it to get rid of my Sogan. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Lock cat, a meowser. I'm thinking about getting something for myself for Christmas. Nothing amazing, nothing like super extravagant, but something. Like maybe some underwear. You're like, what? Underwear? Yeah, underwear. Good game, sir. When you get to be my age, a good pair of underwear is its own reward. You brick? Yeah, I kind of figured. Because you wouldn't put the lock cat down there again knowing that I had piercing, unless you had nothing else. It happens. Bricks happen. Did you see the leaks from Magpie? That bird? Birds have leaks? I don't get that. What's the... I'm just kidding. Yeah, I saw some of them. It's not that hard to get leaks nowadays. Anybody can just go into their files and look. In fact, some of the files are actually listed. Because that's what... I mean, again, if you're a coder, you know that whenever you go in and as you're writing the code, it makes sense often, especially if you need to go back to the code later, or if you're going to hand that code off to somebody else, you want to leave notes there. Like if you write like 3 or 4 lines of code, you put like a little... There's a way you can put a note there within the program that says, this code is for such and such and blah, blah, blah. You know, just to kind of give you reminders. But some of the code has that. Not saying that you can get the actual code for the game, but just in going through the info that you get from it, it's pretty easy to see some of that stuff. Is there anybody else in the duel room? But tell me, Moni, what did Moni say? I mean, what did Magpie say? Hold on, let me go look. Let me see. Leaks. We have our own little leaks section here. Where is it? Website from sports. I could have swore I put a leaks. Didn't I put leaks here somewhere? Huh. Okay, I think I broke something. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's definitely not it. That's a naked woman. And that's website updates. That's sports. That's World of Warcraft, which nobody uses. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see anything. I do see that he posted something in tournament information, but that's like almost 3 weeks ago. I'm guessing he put it in general, and I may have just scrolled through it. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't see it. Yeah, where... I mean, I know I put a leaks channel. Where the... I can't find my own leaks channel. Oh, there it is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links leaks. Okay. New box line for upcoming box. Witness the beginning of a new age. Join the revolution with Junk Destroyer. The picture of the bundle is in the new section. Oh, apparently we're getting a bunch of new playmats, I guess. New animated game mats. Yeah, I don't care about those. More sleeves. I don't care about those. Hasselberry drops. Already knew about those. Yeah, we already knew about this stuff. Well, at least I did. I don't know if you guys did. But in case you guys are wondering, if you don't know about the Hasselberry drops, here's the Hasselberry drops according to Magpie. Ultra rare is Giant Rex. Super rare is Black Stego. Miracle Jurassic Egg, Survival of the Fittest, and Volcanic Eruption. And the rares and normals are Direct Spinos, Frostosaurus, Black Veloci, And Drac Protops and little little D. Little dog. I'm just kidding. And then there's a whole series of like looks like there's new card sleeves and new game mats and yeah. I should rename it the Leaks channel. I was going through it, and that's kind of the sad thing is that this is my Discord, and I'm like, where did I put that? Where is it? I don't know. It's in the Leaks part. Where's Leaks? You tell me. You're the one who set that crap up. He also leaked the new main box tackling. Yeah, I said that. Junk monsters. It's the only thing I don't like about these plastic bottles.
Duel!
It's so damn loud. I would much rather prefer cardboard bottles. You're like, how would they do that? Well, I mean, we have cardboard containers for things like orange juice. I'm guessing the plastic is just cheaper. Even though the cardboard, you know, because I mean, it does. I mean, some of that cardboard does have to be kind of thick, and then you have to put that wax over top of it. Here comes Tricky. Oh, here comes Cosmo Blaine. And here comes Masked, whatchamacallit. For the anniversary yet? It might be a little, because the anniversary is like mid-January, isn't it? So we still got a good month. Oh, man. If that's not a great card. Or that's not a great hand, I should say. This is kind of eh. Wow. This is not a great starting hand. Very monster heavy. This is all I can do. He's already got the mask in the masked beast in his hand. I know that. Because now he's just wanting to bring another monster, then he can bring masked beast, and there you go. That's why I looked at my hand and I was like, oh boy. Okay, that's not bad. Now I have to make a decision. Hold on. Let's see. Could do that. Crap, I screwed up. I could have won, but I screwed up. Oh, it's Dark Necro Steer. Okay. Not sure what that was about. Did he just give up? Or I guess maybe he realized he screwed up? I don't know. I think maybe he screwed up. I think he meant to put Dark Necrofair in defense, which is what I would have done, because it's a 28 defender. That's not easy to get by. But then he accidentally stuck it in attack mode, so he was like, oh, crap. Yeah, I think he screwed up. That's why he just gave it up. I couldn't focus. Why are you sleepy, dude? It's freaking. It's almost well, in where you're at, it's almost noon. Yeah, it's like 10 till noon where you are, man. What's going on over there? Didn't sleep last night or what? I actually slept last night. I'd been staying up all night the last several days, but then I was like, well, if my family's coming on Tuesday, I can't very well stay up all night and then expect to spend the entire day with them. That's gonna suck. So I forced myself to stay in bed and sleep all night. I actually woke up at about 7 this morning. Yeah, man, that tournament lasted forever. That was a long tournament, man. That's crazy. Dralians? No, it's not Dre aliens, it's Dralians. Hold on, how far is he? Am I confident in my dueling? Not at all. He's still a little far away from the 250. But here, I'll let's do his auto duel here real quick. Because of you. You kept him up all night or what? I don't want to know how you kept him up all night. Don't ask. Or don't tell me. Don't tell me. You wanted to win, but Magpie countered you? See, that's one of the big reasons why I'm kind of not really wanting to do a tournament. Because it could turn into a 6 or 7 hour thing. And I'm like, do I really want to sit there for 7 freaking hours streaming? I mean, you guys have seen me. I've done, actually, this past week, I did like a almost 4-hour show. That was amazing. It's like, how in the world did I do that? I completely lost track of time that time. That's the only reason why it went almost 4 hours. It was like 3 hours and 50 minutes. But yeah, the only reason it went that long is because I lost track of time. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. No, what are you doing? I don't want to go here. Go away. The host only had 1 game at the time, so it was slow. So, wait, is that why it went so long? Did he stream every single match? Is that what happened? Because last time he was only it's like he was grabbing like 1. Are you serious? Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Chop. He's a good guy, but that's that's a lot of waiting around, man. That's why it took so long. Now, when we used to do tournaments, and again, we used to do Swiss-style tournaments, but what people would do is obviously we'd have the round, everybody would play, and then we would get what we call a feature match. And that was like, I guess, the one where we would take the 2 duelists and pull them from the main tables and stick them at a single table. And that would be the quote-unquote the feature match, while everybody else, yeah. But yeah, that's a long time to wait, man. Oof. Yeah, I'll be honest, I probably would have dropped too. I just don't have time for a tournament that long. I mean, again, when I used to do the tournaments and stuff like that, I knew going into it that it was going to be an entire day's event. I understood that. But for people who are playing, just like on just Duel Links and just playing for fun, maybe just like, oh, a tournament, they don't have 7 hours to dedicate to a tournament, man. I mean, I understand why he would want to do it that way, and that's fine, but it's a long time, dude. Like I said, if I would have done it, I would have grabbed just 1 particular match, and that would have been the feature match. And so when that match was over, I go back and I look at the timing for however much was left on the round. Once that round was over, boom, we move to the next round. And then we do the same thing again. Everybody else would duel. I'd grab 1 set of players. They would be the feature match. That's what would be the focus. Yeah, 7 hours with a chance of maybe getting $20. Again, let's not knock Chop too much. Let's not give him hell for it. He's trying to do something different. He's trying to give some more entertainment value there, and that's sometimes you try new things and they work out really well, and then sometimes they don't. Like I said, I mean, again, this is just me because I've done tournaments. You guys know I was a judge for a long time. I organized tournaments. I did my own tournaments. I judged regionals and Shonen Jump events, so I know how it goes. But again, it's a very different scene from doing it you know, like actually going to a location like a convention center and being in a tournament there and doing it online. It's a very different thing. So that, and the fact is, if you're going to have a match, and he may not even be aware of this, but like in the TCG, you only get a set amount of time to do your match. If you don't finish within that set amount of time, it goes down to sudden death. Like, you have to finish your match at this time, or else after that you only get, I think when we were doing it, it was only a total of finish the turn the person's on, and then 3 more turns after that, and that was it. We finished the match immediately at that point. So he may not even been aware of that. Yeah, well, I mean, he has his mods for his chat, but again, I think it's not impossible, because like I said, I've done it before, but again, it could just be that I have a ton more experience doing tournaments than he does. So like I said, whenever I did my tournaments, I would always make sure that round 1, all players were playing. All of them were in a match. So it wasn't just like, okay, these 2 people duel and the rest of the people have to wait. No, that's not the way you want to do it. That's how you get a lot of drops. That's how you get a lot of drops, and that's how you get a lot of people losing interest. So yeah, you don't generally want to do it that way. But hey, like I said, you know, let's not give him too much crap. He may just not have been aware that there was a better way to do it. But at least I got on and I got to see that one match between Steve and let's see, Slim. Why you ain't got no mods? Look at my chat. Do you think I need mods? I don't have those big huge crowds like I used to for a while. If I was still getting like 35, 40 people every show, then maybe. He needs a ban list also. Well, he kinda had a ban list. Kinda. Kinda. It's just super rare cards, right? Yeah, it's just, you know, I mean, it's effectively banning any of those other cards, but let's face it, there's a lot of really good super rare cards that a lot of people use. But me, I would go through and I'd ban like half the cards. Seriously, if I did a tournament, there'd be no spike shields, there'd be no Anki, there'd be no wall of D, there'd be no mirror walls, there'd be pretty much half the fur hires would get banned, there'd be no vampires. I would force you guys to do something completely ridiculous with your decks. Ban all. Seriously, that's what I would do. Pretty much any card that I see in meta, I would probably get rid of. I'd be like, no, we're gonna do something completely different. We're gonna. If you don't like it, go do something else, because this is the tournament we're doing. If you don't like it, see you later. Well, no. I mean, what I would do is I would go and I would review the deck that you used in Chop's tournament, and I'd ban like 3 or 4 of those cards. So you'd be like, no, man, come on. Why you want to ban my cards, man? It would be, because it again, it forces people to be more creative, to choose different methods of winning, instead of just going back to the tried and true method. Yeah, there's only 3 of y'all in this room. Let's see, who's in here? Lescabar and Gold. Where are you, Gold? Come on, man, I haven't dueled you. Well, Blescabar, I would imagine that you probably run multiples of certain cards. Run Koaki Marus. Well, one, I don't have all the cards for it. And it just, I mean, I've seen people run that deck, and again, it's one of those decks that when it works, it looks amazing, but when it doesn't work, it bombs. Run Exodia. Yeah, that'd be cool. Force people to run Exodia decks. Well, since nobody's in the room, actually, I could probably do... well, these are just... Yeah. What are these, like level 20? Yeah, this is pointless. Exodia Necros. Ugh. That card was... I mean, do you remember when we got that card and part of the event, to finish the event that it came out with, we had to summon it? My god, that was annoying. Even against like level 10s, you'd be sitting there and go through almost your entire deck just to get that stupid card out. Ugh, I hated that so much. This is one of the most annoying cards. That's why nobody in the TCG used that card. It's a neat looking card. It really is. But I don't ever remember seeing anybody ever running that card. Just because it was so impossible to get out. Because if you're going to run Exodia cards, you might as well just go full on Exodia. You know, don't mess around with Necros. It's just dumb. Gotta think where I want to go tomorrow. Because I mentioned my mother's coming into town tomorrow. And she's like, well, what do you want to do while I'm there? I'm like, I don't know. We can go eat, we can go shopping, whatever. And she's like, okay, we'll go shopping. Where do you want to go? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea where I want to go. I guess we could go to a place like Best Buy or Target. I like Target. I really like Target. No, I don't want to go to Walmart. The only time I ever even think of going to Walmart now is if I know the item I'm really looking for is there and it's really cheap, then I'll go there. And if I do, it'll be in the middle of the night. But other than that, I don't like going, especially during the holidays. Oh, hell no. Don't go to Walmart during the holidays. That's insanity. Hey, 40 gems. But yeah, I sure as heck don't want to go to Walmart. I figure, well, I mean, any place we go, I imagine is going to be busy. Even though it's going to be on a Tuesday and it's during the work week. This is the last week before Christmas, so yeah, every place we go to is going to be busy. Let's see, 5 packs left. What do you think? You think I'm gonna get... Now, if I get this before pack 1... Wow. I seriously don't think I'm going to. But like I said, I want the card, so I pretty much have to burn the gems. I'm basically going to pay 250 gems to get this card now. Yeah, this is no surprise. No surprise there. So 4 packs left. And again, the other one is, I think I got 4 packs on the other one as well. Play the dual school to get more gems. Well, no, I could just level this guy up. Look how close he is, and he's got 250 coming to him. Because if I really wanted to, I could use my orbs, which I need to use here anyway. Because it's the experience event. And usually during the experience event, I blow through all my orbs. But yeah, I don't know. So Target, Best Buy maybe. Where else would I go? I mean, Corpus Christi's not a big city. I don't imagine Altex would really have anything that I need right now. Well, they might have a mini ATX case, I got. The only thing about mini ATX cases is they're JCPenney's. JCPenney was one of those places that my mom would take us when we were kids to get clothes and stuff. But other than that, I haven't really been back to that store. And Sears, I went there a couple of years ago to get new tires for a vehicle that I had at the time. And that place just looks sad now. It's always a little dirty in there. The walls look like they need to be repainted. The ceilings, there's a lot of ceiling tiles that look like they have water damage and stains on them. There aren't a lot of employees in the store. There are entire shelves where there should be product and there's no product there. It is, I mean, it looks like even then it was starting to look like a place that time forgot. What kind of car did I have? I had a van because I used to work for my brother, and we used to do, oh god, we used to do, or I used to do deliveries and stuff because he's a chef, and part of his business is, man, I got my butt kicked, is he makes pretty much he makes meals for people, but for the entire week. And so we would have these large packages of food. And I used to drive all the way to Austin, pick up all the food, and then from there I would go to San Marcos, and from San Marcos I would go to San Antonio, and then from San Antonio I would go back here to Corpus Christi, where there were still a few customers. So yeah, it was a real pain in the butt. It didn't pay very well either. I hate to say that. I mean, I love my brother, but it didn't pay very well. It was like a 10-hour job at least, at minimum. It was a 10-hour job because again, I have to go from here all the way to Austin, then from Austin to San Marcos, which isn't that far, but I usually had to wait for the guy, like the person I was delivering to, I had to wait for him to get to his store, and then I had to unload all the stuff. And then from there, I'd get back on the road and go to San Antonio. And by the time I would get to San Antonio, it was like 7:30 in the morning. And driving in San Antonio at 7:30 in the morning, it's hell. It's such hell. The traffic is insane. So basically, from the time I got into San Antonio to the time I actually got out of San Antonio to head back to Corpus Christi, it was like 2.5 hours. And that's because within there I had to do a couple of deliveries, but then it just took a long time to get through that part. And then from there I had to come back to Corpus, and then again, same situation. I would go to do my drop off, and the guy that I needed to drop off all the product to, he was almost never there. And this guy ran a gym. Like, he owned the gym. And so I would go there, and in order to access the place where I needed to leave all of the product, he had to be there because he was the only one with the key. So we had to call him every single frickin' time. And for him to get from his house to the gym, I had to sit there and wait for like a half hour. And he finally gets there, and I finally drop off all of the food and stuff. And then, what job paid you the most? I worked for I worked for a company called Movero. They're defunct now. But they paid really, really well. They paid well. The job was hard, but they paid well. But then, unfortunately, I got laid off. Hello, Mr. Slim. Hey, Chan, what's going on? We're talking about my old jobs. But yeah, that one job paid really well. But because I got paid so well, they laid me off, which sucks. See, 4 packs to go. I don't really want that card so much. Let's go back to the other box. But Chan, here's something we were talking about. I was complaining about how the last pack in every single box that I've opened, you paid well and they... Well, no. They paid me very well. And that's why they laid me off. Because the job that I was doing, I guess they kind of figured that it was a job that almost anybody else could do. So I was getting paid a good amount. So what they did is they brought in somebody else, had me train them, and they laid me off and then installed that person that I trained into my job, paying him something like 25% less. So yeah, it's the corporate world for you, you know? Because what they initially told me was that the business was getting so big, was that they're like, yeah, the business is getting so big, we see you're working really hard, so we want to get somebody else in there to help you out. And I was like, oh, well, I'm all for that, to make my job a little easier. So that's why I was more than welcome to bringing somebody in and training them and getting them up to speed. But what they didn't tell me was that they were lying to me. I wasn't training somebody to help me. I was training my replacement. So I trained him, got him all set to go. The very next week, they laid me off. And when I talked to that person, because I knew the person that they were bringing into my job, I actually recommended him because he and I had worked together at AT&T. Because they were even asking, do you know anybody else that could possibly do this? And I said, yeah, I know this guy over here, and he's looking for work. So that I basically got myself sort of, not really sort of fired, but I set up myself for failure and didn't even know it. So yeah, a friend of mine from AT&T, I brought him in, got him trained. He eventually replaced me because I got laid off. And then he even told me, He's like, yeah, dude, I swear to God, I didn't know they were doing that. And I said, I didn't know they were doing that either. And just, for us to kind of figure out what was going on, I even asked him, I said, I know I really shouldn't ask you this, but I just got to know. I said, how much are they paying you? And he told me, and I said, that is a hell of a lot less than what I was getting paid. He's like, you serious? And I go, yep. I said, now I see what happened. And we were like, yep, they basically got a new person to do my job, or at least they thought they did. They got a new person to do my job, but have to pay him 25% less. So yeah. That's not unusual, dude. Emmanuel, it's not unusual at all. Again, that's how companies work, man. They want to get the same amount of work out of an individual, but if you can pay somebody 25% less, yet they do the exact same job and they do it just as well, why wouldn't you do it? That's exactly what happened to me. Did he stay? No. He about 6 months later, the company folded because of mismanagement. Oh my God! Am I gonna have packs left? This is amazing! Oh my God! I've never been so happy to be so wrong. We do have unions, but this was a small company. This was a company of like 25 employees. It's like we had 25 employees, and I was one of the senior people. We had 25 employees, and then we had our CEO, our CFO, our COO, and then we had our board of directors. It was a smaller company, so a union wouldn't have helped. It's amazing. I've never been so happy to be so wrong. Look. I'm done, and I still have 3 packs. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, well, there you go. Like I said, I've never been so happy to be so wrong. Now I get to save those 150 gems. But actually, unions are not all they're cracked up to be, Chan. In fact, when I worked with AT&T Wireless, there was another cell phone company. And I didn't work at a store. I worked at a call center. So I never saw customers face to face. But when AT&T Wireless was around, there was another cell phone company here called Singular. And eventually Singular came in and bought out AT&T Wireless. But we, instead of, taking the Singular name, we stayed with AT&T because AT&T here in the United States is a much more recognizable brand. AT&T, the brand, has been around since like the late 1800s. So it's a very recognized name. So you want to keep it. But the thing is that when Singular came in, even though we kept the AT&T name, they brought all of their stuff with them, including their union. And I had always thought unions had their place, and they probably still do, but the way in which the Singular union approached us legacy AT&T employees was absolutely the wrong way. They came in and they said, okay, you're going to have to join the union. And I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, yes, you do. And I said, no, I don't. And there was actually a rule within the merger that said that we did not have to join the union. And I actually had to point that out to like 3 different people within the union that were trying to pressure me into getting to join. I said, I don't have to join your union. You should know this. And finally, I just showed them the paperwork. I said, look, this is the paperwork that says that I do not have to join your union. You're lying to me, and I don't appreciate that. You're just trying to pressure me into doing something I don't want. And so eventually they left me alone because they knew I was wise to what they were doing. But they did that to a lot of other AT&T people. They basically scared them into joining the union. And I thought that was bull crap. And I even told a lot of people who eventually joined the union, I said, you don't have to join, right? And they're like, we don't? And I go, no, you don't. And they're like, they said we had to. And I'm like, no, you don't. I said, I'm not in the union. But the bad thing is, even though I wasn't in the union and I didn't have to pay union dues, I still had to abide by all of the rulings that came via the unions. So that basically meant that half of my health insurance, which when I was with AT&T, I got free health insurance for me and my wife. It was completely part of my package. So I didn't have to pay anything out of my paycheck, which was nice. So when the union came in, suddenly I went from getting completely free health care to paying like $200 a month for health care, which I guess is not terrible, but when you go from free to having to pay for it, that's a real pain in the ass. Not only that, but we used to get quarterly and yearly bonuses. Like every quarter, I'd get a bonus of like $500 or $600, and then at the end of the year, we could get bonuses anywhere from like $1,500 to $4,000 or $5,000. With the union, again, because of the union rules, all those bonuses went away. So yeah, we got all the old AT&T people got royally screwed by the union. We hated it. In fact, by the time that I left, like more than half of my coworkers that I knew had already left as well. We were all leaving. That's part of the reason why I brought in my friend to this other company that I had gone to, because he was still at AT&T. He was still at AT&T and he hated it. He absolutely hated it. And so when I get offered to try and help him come to this other company with me, he was more than happy to come. Every union is different. And it just, here in the States, yeah, so many unions are so backhanded there. Look, I have 1 pack left. So I'm not completely wrong. I wonder, what do you think, Chan? When am I going to get in this last pack? I think I'm going to get a Grand Marg, a Turtle, and a Union. What do you think? But yeah, like I was saying, a lot of unions here. Some unions work really well, but because there's so much money involved, it's ripe for corruption. And so that's part of the reason why so many of us here just do not like the people who love unions. And I hate to say this, I don't want to plaster this on every single union employee, but I've noticed a lot of people who are really into unions are the people who don't work for crap. Like they're just the bottom line, barely scrape by, do enough just to not get fired kind of employee. Because they know with a lot of unions, even if you screw up and you do just a terrible job, because of the way some of these unions are formed, it's nearly impossible to get fired. I mean, you would literally have to beat the living hell out of somebody at work on camera with witnesses to even be taken off the job. And even then, they would still have to go through and pay you until the union went through and did a grievance and all that other stuff. It's a hassle. I hated it so much. God, I hated that union. I don't know if it's still there because Singular, the company, is gone now. Now it's just back to AT&T the way it was. But yeah, I hated it. Frickin' disgusts me. If a union was a person, I would just punch him in the face. Well, the way things work over in Europe as far as your unions, you all have much better protections over there. Not to say that over there aren't, scandals and money and people taking advantage of others, but I don't know. It just feels like there's a bit more oversight over there. Emmanuel, nothing good. Let me see. Chambot says, we have one Turkish guy. He tried to kill his wife with a knife. It was all over the newspapers, but they still promoted him to team leader. That's union for you, man. That's union. I'm telling you, that's how it is down here, too. Like, over at the base, we actually have a naval air station here in Corpus Christi. It's a military outpost. It's a pretty big military base because they keep a lot of planes and helicopters and stuff over there. And they have a union with the regular employees too, because not everybody that works the base is military. A lot of them are civilians. But they have a union, and it's the same way. It's the exact same way. You got to pay your dues. It's nearly impossible to get fired. All that other stuff. It's just... And you know what the irony is? My father, my real father, not my stepfather, my real father, whom I never see, he was the president of that union for like 15 years. He was the top gun. He was the big guy. So a little bit of irony there. Let's see. We had another manager got caught in office having sex and got promoted to senior manager. God. Oh man, I can't. Well, I'm not. How can I put this? Certain activities, I guess. I can't really. How can I put this? This is gonna sound terrible. If I come off sounding bad, then I come off sounding bad. But certain activities I can't fault some people for, because when I worked for a hotel, I did certain things that would probably get most people fired. Nothing against customers, nothing like that. When it came to the customer, I was perfectly fine. I did all the right things, all that. But during during the times when the job wasn't very demanding, like when it was the slow season, never mind. I'm just gonna shut up right there. I didn't break any laws. Okay? I didn't. I swear to God, I did not break any laws. But I'm just going to leave it at that. You all can figure it out. Anyway, I'm going back to the duel room, and there's probably still nobody in there. Oh my God. We actually lost somebody. And Bluscabar's the only one still in there. No, I can guarantee you it was not illegal. It was not illegal. Not in the slightest. I never stole. I never did any of that stuff. None of that. That's BS. You have more stories like that? You know, I'm starting to think Chan and I are at least somewhat close to the same age because we have little, I guess, quote-unquote war stories like that. Best stories from the company. I know what company you work for too, Chan. I'm not going to say which it is, but I know what company it is because you've mentioned it before on your Twitter feed. Slim started a boxing match. No, I never did that. But Chan has a good job, man. If you all don't follow Chan over on Twitter, she's got a Twitter feed. And she's mentioned a couple of times what she does for a living. And I gotta say, man, that's a nice job. I mean, it's not easy to get that job. I imagine you have a pretty good education. But y'all very old. We're not that old. I know Chan's younger than I am. She better be. If she's not, that'd be... unexpected, I guess would be the word. But yeah. You were the only one left to do the job. I don't know if that's good or bad. Because you said you... I mean, well, again, I don't really want to give away too much because I don't know if you keep that stuff personal. But I just know she works for a really nice company. Slim's 85. I'm not 85. If I were 85, I'd probably be bedridden. Oh, everyone else left? Oh, man. I don't know if that's good or bad. I've been in jobs like that, too, where I'm just there long enough and people come and go and people come and go before you know it. After all that turnover, you're like the only original person that was there when you started. You're the last one in the project? Ugh. Now I'm a little worried. Seriously, I'm actually a little worried for you now, because if there's only one person left in the project, it's like, oof. With your senior manager. Oh, the other employees left. Okay, so they only left. They didn't get canned. Okay. But even then, and interestingly enough, Chan, we were talking about work conditions and whatnot earlier. When I was talking, we were talking about Blizzard. The company that does World of Warcraft and Overwatch, and we were talking about the work conditions there and how bad they've become. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. Oh, and Chan, you had mentioned something about, was it a tournament that you were at yesterday? I couldn't. I mean, I saw there with the big. It looked like a trophy, like a glass trophy, that you were pointing at in that Twitter picture you shared. Was that a tournament? I'm guessing it was a tournament. Because you called it something sparrow, and I heard that word, and I was like, sparrow? What are you looking at, birds or something? What's going on, man? The next tournament that Chan's going to be at is the Golden Seagull.
Duel!
You cannot write your bot... I don't have any bots. Seriously, I have no bots in this channel or on this stream. Now, YouTube has their default stuff, where sometimes YouTube will... stop you from posting links and stuff like that. Oh, then YouTube... Oh, yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, this is... How do I keep getting starting hands like this? Ugh. Oh, it's probably telling you... Yeah, it tends to do that sometimes, Chan. Like, if you put too many messages in too quickly, it'll try to slow you down. Yeah, you can get a rematch. I was waiting for you, Bluscabar. You never came back. Man, this is a terrible starting hand. I mean, it's not bad, but it's... I mean, you don't want to start with that many monsters. What is my goal in life and career? Seriously, at this point, my big goal is just to get to the 1,000 subs, so that I can go back to making a little bit of cash every month from AdSense. Because I'm telling you, back then when I was getting my AdSense money, it wasn't a ton of money, but it was still money. You know, some months it was only $10, other months it was $50, but that's still money. basically, since they made that change, I've lost all that income. And again, you know, you may not think $10, $50 here and there, but it adds up. You need 1,000 subs. Well, you need 1,000 subs on YouTube as minimum, so that you can get money from AdSense. So yeah. And then not only that, but once you're at 1,000 subs, you can also get super chats, which are kind of like bits over on Twitch. You know how like you get the bits and stuff every now and then. But yeah, super chats are just straight cash donations. Well, I mean, I guess it all depends how you look at it, because Twitch isn't that easy to get through either. Okay. So that's 800, huh? Because Twitch has certain criteria you have to meet too. Like, I think that you need to have at least 50 followers. You had to have streamed a certain amount of days or hours within a time period, stuff like that. So they have criteria too, but I think with Twitch, if you really push Twitch, it's not really that hard. Yeah, you have to have a certain amount of money before they pay you out. Google's the same way, but it's a lot easier to meet their threshold. And they keep it for 6 months. Oof. They do that on purpose, because for every month that they keep it, they earn interest from that money. I think any company, any streaming service is going to do that. That's why sometimes it's better just to do straight donations to the person that you're watching. Like, I use Streamlabs and PayPal, and yeah, again, they take their cut, but you get the money like that day or the next day. So you don't have to wait for somebody to, you know, eventually dish out the money to you. So that's why Streamlabs is not so bad. Or like I said, straight PayPal. Straight PayPal is fine. It depends on how you accept the money. Like, here's the deal. Here's something that people don't understand. If you post it as a donation, then yes, they take a cut. However, there is a roundabout way to go about it where they take nothing. If it is considered if you consider it just a straight payment, like if you're sending somebody money, they don't take anything. Like, whenever I used to get paid when I worked for my brother, sometimes he wouldn't even give me checks. He would just pay me through PayPal. And he would pay me that way. And so I never had to pay, you know, anything to PayPal. They just gave me the money. No, there's an alert. I would still get alerted. I would still get emails. But I know what you're saying, the alert as far as what it shows up on your stream. Speaking of alerts, my freaking hold on. Where is it? View counter is such a useless thing. There we go. It always shows the wrong numbers on my view counter. I hate that. Yeah, they do. They live for the alert. Or like with Super Chat. Super Chat, they take 30%, which I guess, considering the alternatives, is not so bad. But yeah, at least Super Chat alerts you right then and there. So I guess there's that benefit. And that's another thing about the 1,000 subs. Once you hit 1,000 subs, not only do I get my AdSense money, but then I'm also able to take Super Chats. Which I don't imagine I would get a ton of Super Chats, but it's still nice to have that option. Yeah, 30%. I mean, it seems like a lot, but when you really break it down, it's actually not. And here's the reason I think so. Think of what YouTube does. They house all of your content, and they make it available pretty much forever. People can go and visit your channel as often or as little as they like. They let you stream. They let you do all kinds of stuff. And so ultimately, that 30%, again, it seems like a lot, but you know, when all is said and done, it makes sense because they got to pay for their servers, right? I mean, Google has to pay for the servers, for all the space that you take, all the bandwidth that you use. It's got to get paid for. Good game, sir. Once I got Stardust out, I was like, ooh, Stardust. Chan's going to come into the dorm and kick my butt. Miss 17-time COG player. She's going to give it to you like, pah! Well, Bleskabar's been waiting. Oh, you're eating? No pressure. I was just joking anyway. Besides, we're getting to that 2-hour mark where I generally end my shows, because after that I start losing my mind. What time is it? 11:30? Oh, it's still kind of early. It feels later to me. It feels like it's like 1.
Duel.
This is a slightly better hand. Don't put another backfield. Don't. Ah, I told you. Told you not to do that. I'm kidding. Moja. Oh, this is different. Well, for you it's 12:30. For me it's 11:30. I'm in Central Time. Go for 5? Heck no, man. You guys know me. After 2 hours, I start losing my mind. I start doing weird stuff. Oof. I don't know if you all can hear that, but my neighbor is jamming. Two Cosmics. Ugh, that sucks. Yeah, my neighbor's jamming out, man. I don't know what music they're playing, but I can hear it. Well, I don't know if I'll be going quite yet, but yeah, we'll get a rematch. I'll probably switch to a different deck. What is doing weird stuff? Just saying goofy stuff. I imagine he's got protection back there. That's why he's letting me do all this. Yeah. Oh. Oh, you keep. Well, I've been using the same deck through the whole stream, so I'll try something different. You know me, I like to switch around to different stuff. Hold on, what does this thing do? Once per turn, you can discard 1 card, special summon 1 Moja from your deck. Actually, I'll let that go. We're gonna wait. Hey, Danger, where you been, man? Well, at least I've got him top decking. No rush, Chan. Take your time. Remember, whenever you eat, you should enjoy that food. That's what I do. Like, whenever we used to go to restaurants and stuff when I was a kid, my brother would always get on me. He'd be like, man, you take forever to eat. And the whole time I'm thinking, dude, I want to enjoy this. I don't care if you're rushing me. I want to enjoy this. You know, because especially when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money. So whenever we got to go out to eat, it was a treat. You were in work in Denmark. What are you doing in Denmark? So how am I? I'm all right. Just trying to figure out what to do tomorrow when my mother comes into town. I don't get to see her that much anymore. We were talking about stores, and I was like, maybe we'll go to Target. Maybe we'll go to Best Buy. We'll probably end up at the mall for some reason, because I have a feeling that at least one of my nephews is going to come with her. Probably the younger one, and he's like 12 now, I think. Aw, why'd you surrender? All right, Bluskavar. Here, I'll switch to a different deck, Gold. I'll be right back.
Am I confident in my dueling? Not at all.
Let's see. Should we do the Wheel of Fortune or should I just pick one? What do you guys think? Wheel of Fortune? All right, here we go. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, not Tristan. We're going to go again. Wheel of Fortune. Here we go. Okay, that's... Who is it? Is it Yugi or is it Weevil? I don't know who it is. Well, here, let me just go to a different series. Here, I'll do this.
Team 5Ds all the way.
You guys know this deck. It's kind of a fun deck. And I actually haven't updated it. I need to update it. But it's still a fun deck. I'll use this. Weevil. Yeah, this is kind of a neat deck. It doesn't always work that well, but it's pretty fun. Chan's gonna show up with her hardcore meta deck and be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" The meta deck. What's going on, man? Come on, let's go. There we go. You got one more deck. Silver rank. Speaking of ranks, man, I have just been slacking this month. Slacking hardcore. Only, what, 12 wins? I think I've only got 12 wins this season. Yeah, I've just not been carrying that much. Maybe when another KC Cup comes around. What next KC Cup is probably like in February or March. Ooh. This is... Oh, man. Not the greatest starting hand. You're staying right there. Well, some people like doing that. I mean, because let's face it. I mean, if you start a season at, you know, like bronze or silver, those first 20 wins are probably going to be pretty easy to come by. But if you're starting at platinum or legend, yeah, it's a little rough. And like I said before, man, my first 10 matches in Platinum 1 when the season started, I was just treading water big time. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. It was a revolving door, man. I was gonna say, activate that sucker. Put your the little one down there, the 300 attacker. Yeah, put the little one down there because you don't want to draw that little one. Oh, you're gonna put the cat. Okay, well, the cat's fine too. Crystal Tree. You can send this card to the graveyard, taking number of Crystal Beast monsters from your deck equal to the number of crystal counters. Then place those monsters. Okay, gotcha. And then a face down. Crystal Regeki. I actually have a video that I haven't edited yet, where I'm opening one of the 3 decks that comes with the latest legendary deck box that came out. It's one of those $30 boxes, and you get 3 decks in it. And I've actually already filmed 2 of the openings, but I just haven't gotten around to actually editing them together and uploading them. I did edit a video this morning that's actually going to go live in about an hour and a half. Yeah, in about an hour and a half. Maybe a little later. We'll see. You gonna Crystal Regeki my... I would hold on to your Crystal Regeki for now. I would hold it. Alright. I would have held that later, but that's just me. I almost always use Crystal Regeki to get rid of big monsters that I can't deal with. I wouldn't use it on a card like that. Oh, dual room number. Is it this? Yeah, I think that's it. There you go, man. The legendary Chan is in the room. How many of y'all are gonna challenge her? I gotta challenge her at least once. Oh, and just so you know, Chan, we're playing fun decks today. We're not running metas. Obviously, as you can see, we're not running metas. tier 0 deck. If it's a troll deck, I'm just gonna be like, ugh, fucking troll decks. Uber meta deck. Trax plays this deck that this person is playing. Maybe not the exact same card setup, but Trax has a... Ooh. Wow. I'm gonna wait on that. We'll just end the turn here. See, that's a card that I would have much rather started the duel with, but instead I got 2 of those. But if I would have gotten, say, one of those and one of these, that would have been really nice. Ugh, darn it. Not what I was hoping for. How's your book online coming along? Well, I have several books. I don't really pay attention to them anymore. They basically just sit on Amazon Unlimited, which is one of their reader programs, and I just get a little bit of money from it every month. That's pretty much it. Like I said, for every page they read, I get a little something. Now I have to draw a good monster, and I don't have a lot of attackers. Ugh, that's not it. I kind of have to do this now. I didn't want to. Unfortunately, it did not start with a great hand. So I'm struggling now. I gotta draw! There are a couple of cards that I could use to survive, but how much you want to bet I draw something completely useless to me? Let's see, here comes the useless draw! Ugh. Well, actually, hold on. Crap. It is kind of useless. That sucks. Why did I choose that card and not this one? That's all I can really do. Damn, if I would have chosen that one for my contract with Gusto and not the other, I could have summoned something. It sucks. I kind of had to summon that and bring that out because I gotta have some defense. But he's in perfect position to bring his Rainbow Dragon now. Crystal Beast, Topaz Tigger. Man, her music is really loud. I'm surprised it's actually taking him this long to finish me off. Ugh, crap. Let's stick that down there and let him get the win. Come on, buddy. Come on, chop chop. Time is money. Really, dude? Come on, just attack me already, dude. It's taking too long. I want to give you the opportunity to get, you know, to hit for the win, but you're taking too long. Come on, man. I have nothing back here. I'm telling you, I have nothing. I have nothing that can stop. Thank you. Just attack. I had nothing. A couple of times I could have possibly made a comeback, but I didn't make the right decision. Alright, so we're going to try a different deck. What's this? Oh, gems. Let me switch to a different deck here real quick. Actually, let me use... You were looking for your rainbow? Let me use this other deck. This one's a pretty fun deck. Where are you, Cyrus? No, not Jaden.
My heroes are ready to throw.
I'll give it all I got.
Come on. There's Chan. You're gonna face Cyrus. Bastion. This is a Water Dragon deck? Are you running Water Dragon? That'd be kind of neat. I know one of my regular viewers, Callum, is trying to get Water Dragon going. Hey, Tyler. You made it just in time, man. I'm facing the world champion right now. Okay, maybe not the world champion, but... Zengen! What you gonna search? I've seen this deck before. Oh my god, Chan. Why are you running me with this deck? And don't let it fool you. She actually did pretty good with this deck. I know what deck it is, though. That's funny. Yep. She searched Beaver Warrior. But like I said, don't let it fool you, man. Breaking out the beaver. Bringing the axe. Can you duel him? This isn't a him, Tyler. This is a her. This is a Aichan bot. I had to get rid of that beaver. Good duel, ma'am. But that was obviously just a kind of a silly deck. She had to break out the Beaver Warrior on me. The 24 million attack Beaver Warrior deck. I don't know if that's the same one, but I remember watching part of one of her streams where she was running Beaver Warrior. It was kind of funny. Good duel. Tyler's like, I want to duel you. Had to break out the Beaver Warrior deck on me. Get out of here. Do I have a silly deck? I think I do have a silly deck, don't I, guys? I can't remember. Oh, you need a True Nade? Do you not have a True Nade? Well, I don't have a True Nade either, but... Yeah, the True Nade would have helped you. If you would have broke out the True Nade there, I'd have been like, oh, crap. Well, I probably could have got you next turn, because I still would have had the rush. And what did I have in my hand? Was it... Yeah, I just had the Submarine Ride. Let's see, who was it? Blescobar wanted a rematch? But yes, if you want to challenge Chan, she's hanging out in the duel room right now. I don't know how long she's going to be around, but she's there. And believe me, Tyler, she has much better decks than the Beaver Warrior deck. She was just messing around with me. But yeah, Chan's actually really good. Oh, now she's like, yeah, let's try again. I'm gonna bring out the serious deck now. Come on, Blescobar, where you at, man? Well, he's apparently not there. Let me switch to a different deck then. Again, I'm not gonna do a serious deck because this is mostly fun decks today. Let me think. What other deck could I use?
It's your hero, Tristan Taylor.
I could use that terrible fairy deck that I have. Well, here, I'll use this one.
Let's go.
This is kind of an interesting deck. It's not great, but here, I'll sit over at table 1. Because apparently Gold is trying to challenge Chan. You want to duel her now? Well, I'm gonna tell you, dude, I don't think she'll use the Beaver Warrior deck on you. She'll probably use something a little harder. Because let's face it, Beaver Warrior, I mean, it's a meme deck. And she knows that. Oh, Chan's moved over to Blescobar. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. I don't think he's there. I think he's a ghost. You miss Yugioh Duel Links? You should play, man. Ain't nothing wrong with taking like a month off or anything, but, you know, come back. Beer Warrior Tier 0. Oh, I thought I just... Oh, I think I'm playing the same person again. It's like the 4th time I faced this person.
Duel!
Oh, this is ugly. That is a dirty starting hand. And not in a good way. Ugh. Beaver Warriors be limited. Yeah, this is I may not make it this time around either. This is not a good starting hand. I'll survive for a little bit, but yeah, starting with 0 monsters sucks. It's just bad. Kind of have to do this. I really don't want to take a ton of damage first turn, because then I'll be struggling the entire rest of the match. He's still gonna get his surge to the backfield, but... Gonna put the cat... Oh, this time he did the ruby. Come on, monster. Draw a monster. Even Aurora Wing would be a great draw right now. Just stick the Aurora Wing out there. Oh, that's not terrible. Could have been better, but... Don't burn your Crystal Regeki on that. Don't. It's a waste. Alright. Or at least hit my backfield. Don't burn it on the behemoth. He's on the ban list on the beaver. Okay, yeah, that's a good choice actually. Yeah, hit the backfield instead. Yeah, because this sucker will just come back. I mean, he won't come back as strong, but he'll come back. This music's kind of funky. Alright. Tiger Dragon. No. It's not a Tiger Dragon. Wall of donkeys? I see a wall of donkeys! I really don't know what I would do if I saw an actual wall of donkeys. That would be kind of strange. Oh, rainbow path, okay. You know me, I always come up with these goofy names for all this stuff. Rainbow Dragon, already in hand. Okay, we gotta account for that now. I bet most of you have never seen a donkey, like in real life. Like I'm sure everybody's seen a donkey on, on the internet, but have you actually seen a donkey in real life? I have. And they are goofy looking creatures. They really are. They're really goofy looking. But as goofy as they are, they're actually very sweet animals. And they're not afraid of hard work. Topaz Tigger. Have them in petting zoos. They're pretty docile animals. Like one year, I took a girl to the Austin Zoo, which I don't even know if it's still around yet. I think it is still around. But we went to the Austin Zoo. It was kind of neat because it was like a combination of it was basically a large petting zoo, but it also had some of the bigger creatures that you would normally see at regular zoos. Like it had tigers and lions and stuff, but it also had things like goats, and donkeys, and I think they had what was it, a capybara? One of those big, funky looking rodents. And we were messing with that little creature for a while. Very nice creature, by the way. It basically looks like a big hamster, or like a kind of like a hamster guinea pig sort of thing, and it's big. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the world's biggest rodent. It's actually a really sweet creature, and he was just chilling there. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" We were petting him and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, man." In fact, I still have pictures, I believe, from that trip. Should probably go look at them up now, because I remember we saw the tigers. Oh, and we saw an overly aggressive ostrich. Like I remember we were there, and it was kind of a chilly day, so we had on our windbreakers and stuff. And she'd actually worked with ostriches before, or ostriches before. So she had no problem going right up to it and kind of messing with it and petting it and stuff. And then the ostrich saw her, those little draw ties that you have for your hoodies? Well, this one had like this shiny little metal piece on the end of it, which got the ostrich's attention. And the ostrich was like, "Ooh, I want to eat that." And he immediately went for it and tried to eat it. And so she had to fight the ostrich so it wouldn't eat it. She grabs it by the neck and she's like, "No, you little crapper, don't do this." It's kind of hilarious. Great times with animals. At least she wasn't headbutted. Oh. I was going to say, at least she wasn't headbutted by a goat or a ram. Is it reset time? Well, I've still got like a minute, but it's probably right around that time. Good game, sir. See, the funny thing is that y'all are saying like Nani and stuff when Chan's here, and the whole time I'm thinking, you know, Chan actually speaks Japanese. so it's like, huh? Oh, she actually speaks the language. We need to do better than this. I think Chan doesn't Chan speak like, I know she speaks like at least 3 languages. I want to say more. But then again, a lot of people who live in Europe, it's not unusual for them to know multiple languages. Like Moni. I know Moni knows Dutch at least. Dutch and English at least. I'm pretty sure that he knows some German. Let's see. I faced gold, right? I think. Yeah, I faced gold. I can never keep the names right. Zaymar just came into the room. Oh, there's Bleskavar. Okay, we'll do it. Like who next? Yeah, I had a bad starting hand, but then I eventually drew into some better stuff. That twin-headed behemoth was actually a really good draw. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Moni says Dutch, English, and a little German. Well, to be fair, Moni's English isn't very good. In fact, his English is terrible. Like, he always, like, whenever he can't think of the word of what something actually is, he just calls it cheese. Like, there have been several times where he's like, hey, that's a great play, but instead of saying, hey, that's a great play, he'll say that's a cheese play. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you know, cheese. Okay. It kind of goes back to Moni wanting to work in a cheese factory for minimum wage.
Duel.
Huh. That's an interesting starting hand. Speaking of languages, I really should work on my Spanish more. I've been so lazy with it. I really should work on it. I kind of had a feeling Bleskavar was going to do that. He got bitter because of the last match. He's like, screw this. I'm going to go for the one turn. Yeah, I'm going to play a serious deck. Yeah, that's Bleskavar. I'm sorry, Bleskavar. I'm sorry you're salty. No, I think Chan went ghost. That's alright. It's your more serious deck. Compared to my deck, it was more serious. Oh, but yeah, it's reset time. Why didn't I... Hold on, I'll just reopen the app here. Y'all can enjoy that bright white light. I don't know if she's still there. I really don't. I don't know if she's still there or not. She might just be a ghost. A seriously fun deck. We get the normal ticket. Oh god. They need to replace those already, man. It's just so, I mean, those tickets are just so useless. I mean, because all the cards that you get from there, I mean, really, I mean, I can't think of any one card from that ticket now that's even worth getting. Where are my tickets? Let me see. Yeah, I can't think of any of these cards that I've actually ever really used. I've seen somebody use this, but that was for a theme deck. But yeah, for the rest of these, the only one that I thought might be useful was this one. and maybe that one, but the other... Well, I guess I've seen Dre use this card because he runs that the Masked Beast deck. But yeah, a lot of these, I've never seen anybody use this. Yeah, a lot of these have no use. Remember a while back somebody was like, yeah, get that one. I've never used that card for anything. It's pointless. They need to update the... Seriously, at least put a couple of new cards in there at this point. Something new for us to get. Even if they are crap cards too, at least it's new. Okay, well, Gold and Zaymar are still going at it. So we've got to wait for them. And while we're waiting for them, where's my... Do I want to use this one or the other one? We'll go with this one.
Very well. Let us begin.
I'll do a quick rank though. While I'm waiting. 12 whole victories this season. Yeah. But seriously, I mean, it's been months since they have updated that list. I think even longer. It's been at least 6 months. It's the same stuff in there. And none of them are really great cards. I mean, they're normal cards. I get that. They're normal rarity, but they have to have at least some use.
Duel.
Oh my god. Really? We're gonna start this way? Alright. The only way this could have been more interesting if it was 2 Spike Shields and 2 Cypher Soldiers. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Usually about this time every month is when they update, right? With new... I bet you they're going to do it on the 19th. I bet with the Hasselberry event, they're going to do it on the 19th. It makes sense. Fire King Island. Yep, U-Bell. Already running U-Bell, huh? Alright. I didn't expect to actually run into a U-Bell. And the sad thing is I don't have it. Well, no. I actually might not have anything to get rid of that U-Bell. Yeah, we'll end the turn. This is just going to destroy it anyway. He's going to summon, then let it destroy, and then summon, then let it destroy. Yeah, he's going to summon that Brawn guy, and then not mind it being destroyed next turn. Looks like he got all the cards he needed, man. Now he gets to search with that. Or not, okay. Oh, are you serious? And let's see, he's gonna get Phoenix back, which is gonna destroy that. Oh, man. And then it's gonna destroy my face down, too. It's probably best that I wait, actually. Because when I end, he's going to get Phoenix back, it's going to destroy this, it's going to pop both those, it's going to bring out the next U-Bell, and then he may get another monster. I defect gold? What? I don't know what that means. It's best to just surrender. Maroon, stop trying to be French. My one French viewer's like, shut up! Okay, if I draw Golem, that won't really matter, but because he'll only at most take the 1,000, and then next turn I'm screwed. Oh, you beat a goal. Oh, okay. Ugh, DNA surgery. See you later, Chan. Thanks for stopping by. It's a Beast Warrior. Prepare for your own stream. Alright. See you later, Chan. I'll probably drop by your stream for a little bit. Oh, I forgot about the freaking Phoenix. It doesn't really matter what I call. It's gonna go away. Here, hold on. You tell me, Emmanuel. How many Rainbow Dragons are you running? If you're running only one, then that's going to be kind of hard. If you're running two, then you should be able to get it. But yeah, that's pretty much been this season for me. Win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. You're only running one? That's probably why, dude. I would say in a Rainbow Dragon deck, if you're running Crystal Beasts and you're running Rainbow Dragons, you gotta do more than one. You gotta do at least two. 3 might be a little overkill, but 2 is good.
I pledge my word that I shall defeat this worthless opponent.
I'll use this useless deck.
You're not prepared for this.
This is a pretty terrible deck. You're not prepared for this. Who have I played? Zaymar? Hey, where'd he go? Aww. He's gone. Well, he's here, but he's not. Wow, oh, come on, man. I've been waiting for this dude, and he keeps going and playing other people. Fine.
I will destroy you.
Where's Tristan? Where are you?
Am I confident in my dueling? Not at all.
Not at all. Well, I guess we'll call it for the day. Yeah. Because he kept... I wanted to duel him, but he kept taking off. He's taken off on me like 3 times already. Anyway. But yeah, I think we're going to call it for the day. This has been an interesting day. And like I was saying, this weekend, I'm not going to be here tomorrow because I'm going to go spend time with family. And I don't know, maybe get some new stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to get. A game, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Have a great day? No. I will have a terrible day. You know how bad my day is going to be? No, seriously, I'm asking. Do you know how bad it's going to be? I don't know. I really don't. Do you? But yeah. Anyways, I'll probably just go and have some lunch, play some World of Warcraft, maybe read a book. Oh yeah, I forgot I got books last week. I need to read them. We'll see how that goes. And bye, brah. Yu-Gi-Oh! That's your name. Oh god, that's a terrible song. I gotta turn that off. Okay, we're never listening to that song again. And I will see you all maybe Thursday. We'll see how it goes.